It was outside Argos and 50 minutes past 3 when the bus ejected me into the rain. I don't usually get off here, but there is a diversion because of something to do with cement, and also the bus broke down. Well, we were huddled on the pavement like coat rats without the coats, and there were cats and dogs, so we dominoed into Argos, and I felt like Winston from 1984 because the walls were painted with televisions and mini televisions. I counted 21 Freddie Mercurys, and it was marking the quadricentennial of his death, although the news channel did not use that word because it's everybody's news channel. The room was filling with soggy people and exclamation marks and squeaky shoes. The boy next to me was particularly bedraggled, and I noticed 3 water globules jiggling in the hollow underneath his left eye. The boy next to me said to the boy next to him, "You paid £4.50 for a coffee, it doesn't even get you drunk." And the boy next to him said, "Yeah, but it has caffeine in it and that's a drug, right?" And I spent a bit of time thinking about the cupboard with the mirror on it in our bathroom, because I think this is where we keep the drugs. Argos was shrivelling up in the rain the way that a spider does when you kill it. An iceberg of girls in puffy coats drifted closer to me, and I was concentrating very hard on ignoring them, but the girl in the pastel-coloured puffy coat had a voice like a cheese grater grating a big block of metal, which was hard to ignore. She asked the other girls if anybody had a towel, I assume because she was wet from the rain, and they said no, sorry. And then she said, "I've been bleeding for 5 days now and I've run out, it's so stressful being a girl." And this confused me, because if I had been bleeding for 5 days, I would be crying, or panicking, or in the hospital, or dead, but she wasn't any of these things. Mother tells me not to eavesdrop when other people are doing chatting, so I counted the change in my pocket instead, which added up to 87 pence. The 50p coin was made on the year I was born, so I figured it must be a lucky coin and put it into a different pocket than the other coins. Then everyone waltzed closer to me and a furry hood touched my face and it tickled, but not in a good way. The news channel was showing a wind farm, and I thought about how I'd like to be a wind turbine because I would be big and strong and nobody would ask me to take the bins out, and I would have lots and lots of space so nobody could touch me with their furry hood. People don't like wind turbines because they are ugly, but this is subjective, and I can think of many uglier things, such as lip piercings or garden gnomes or Nigel Farage. I was wet and hot, and everything was wet and hot, and I didn't want my clothes to touch me because they were sticking to me like scrambled eggs when you leave them in the pan to scramble for too long. And then the synthetic material of the cheese grater girl's coat screamed against the synthetic material of my coat, and suddenly everyone got too loud, and instead of the big block of metal, it was me, and I panicked because I was trapped inside a washing machine of soggy people and puffy coats and icebergs, and I couldn't get out. And I looked at the ceiling, and it shouted things like "treat your elf" and "fantastic gifts for £10 or less," and I screamed because the 24th of November is not Christmas time! It was inside Argos and 2 minutes past 4 when the Argos man found me with my head against the television. He looked angry and said, "Excuse me," and I said yes, and he said, "What do you think you're doing?" and I said, "I'm talking to you." Then the Argos lady came over, and in a whispering voice she used colourful language and said that I was a few sandwiches short of a picnic, but I didn't have any sandwiches. And why anyone would have a picnic in this weather is beyond me. I asked the man where the broken down bus that was across the road had gone because I couldn't see it anymore, and he said that that's because there was a big moving truck and furniture in the way, and looked at me like I was an idiot. But actually he's the idiot because the truck was certainly not moving. I spotted the cheese grater girl, so I gave her my lucky 50p coin and told her to get better soon. Then it was raining, but not like before, and I walked onto the pavement and then walked home in a northeasterly direction, which is the direction of my house in relation to the bus stop. I wish the news channel was just for me. Thank you.